Before we dive into the program, I want to start by just covering how the interface is laid out so that you understand what it is I'm referring to as we work through the other content. Once you've opened the program by double-clicking the desktop shortcut, you'll be asked to provide login credentials. Providing one of the broadcast technicians has created your account, you simply need to enter your surname into the username field. No password is required. If it fails to log in, then please let one of the technicians know and they'll get the account set up. The interface is by default split into 3 separate panels. On the left is our filter tree, which can be used to help navigate and filter down the content that has been published to Burli server. At the top of this we have the in queue, which is what all of the different types of content come into. And then within that, we have our different filters for our news outlets that we are signed up to, Twitter accounts that we follow, RSS feeds, and more. We can also filter down our content to just what has been published within the newsroom by using the in-house option. To the right of that, and along the top of the screen, we have the upper pane, which houses a number of tabs for displaying different content within this area. With the in-queue tab selected, we can see all of the stories from the various different filters listed here. The most recent content is shown at the top of the list and the oldest at the bottom. The in-queue is able to hold up to 10,000 stories, but once an item goes past that point, it is no longer available within the program. We then have a number of search tabs which will display filtered down content depending on the method used. For example, if I select the IRN option from within the filter tree, one of these tabs is then opened and will display just IRN's published content. The scripts tab is where we create and organise our created content that we wish to then use within our bulletins. We'll look at this in more detail later on in the video. The web tab is an inbuilt web browser to allow us to use the internet while staying within the program. It also opens automatically if a hyperlink within a story is clicked. The multitrack feature works in a similar fashion to multitracks within many of the other editing programs such as Adobe Audition, allowing us to create more dynamic audio packages by layering up different audio clips. This is covered later in the video. The lower pane houses our Works folder, which is where we create and edit content within Burli, all of which is saved locally to that machine and utilises an autosave feature, meaning you do not need to manually hit save, the program does it for you. But also, with it being locally stored in a shared access folder, any user that uses the program on that same machine will also be able to see and interact with any content contained within this area. So with that in mind, if you wish to continue with any work that you've already created within Burli, you need to make sure that you use the same machine. It's recommended that you delete any items from within this area at the start of the day, so not to clutter the panel and make it difficult to sort through your own work. Do this by selecting the items within the Works folder and pressing the delete key. Within this window, select the option to permanently delete the content and hit OK. If you wish to back up any content that you create within the Works area, it can be exported out to an external storage device by right-clicking on the item and selecting Save As. You then just need to navigate to the desired location that you wish to save the item to and hit Save. Along the very bottom of the interface we have the ticker tape, which highlights the most recent content to be pulled into the in-queue. Items along this area can be selected to open them within the content area of the upper pane. Finally, to the left of the filter tree, we have our audio control area, as well as the audio meters. Any content that you play out of the program can be stopped via this panel.